It is Asmo time! Asmodan and the Vikings make their appearance here as we are going into game number 2 of the best of 7. The grand final continues with Team Rip playing Vasilisco on Rega. We get Jojo playing played by Krankel, Dino and Cassia, Sven on the Haka, and Cesabos on Asmodan. On the right side, Nano on Chromie. We get Gavlo on Hogger, Banana H with Brightwing, Sadath on the Vikings, and Simply is playing Teriel. So as per usual agreement, the idea is always with Asmodan, until he has his level 7 talent, to try and help him to stack. So you want a hero that has an AoE damage. The Haka would fit that bill here. Could use Cassia, I guess, but Jojo, the Haka are probably better. And then take those minion waves out, rotate with him a bit, and try and get him stacked early so that he has impact faster. Tyria can screw with this a bit, by the way, by employing the shield, but here you can already see the play. This is exactly how you do it. 18 stacks with the first wave, moves down with Johanna. This is the old school combo when that first emerged, and now they're going to do the same play here. Jojo comes in, Asmodan gets the hit. There weren't that many minions around, but they get another 8 stacks, so that's already looking great. If you continue that until Asmodan has level 7, he will have a lot of stacks. He will hit his level 1 quest much faster, he will hit his baseline quest much faster, and he also will have an impact in the game much faster than if you just let him do his thing on his own. Once he has level 7, he can do all of that stuff by himself, but this is exactly what I would expect now from Team Rip. And they're doing it well. So it's not really about fighting the heroes, it's really just about stacking Asmodan and controlling the wave. And that's what they're doing. Teriel, as I said before, could screw with this a little bit by simply coming in and using his shield on the minions whenever they are trying to eliminate them. But that hasn't really happened yet. Siege Giants are now claimed as well. We have all the way up at the top, Sven rotating in and out and trying to stop that minion wave, of course. Asmodan with a few more stacks likely now at the bottom of the map. Another hit, and boom! They're taking it all, and he's at 56 already. Easy! Easy damage and easy stacks for Cesabos. Now the Vikings on the other side started things off with Olaf the Stout, and that should also give a lot of control, especially once we have the temples up. But that top lane pressure, for example, is something that needs to be dealt with. The Gremlins with lots of aggression right from the get-go. Lots of targets too now for Cassia, who is hitting 10 stacks easy. And this is exactly the one thing that this push is good for, from the perspective of the blue team, that they can at least get stacks for Cassia, and they do. But the wall is gone, and every single structure you can eliminate on a map like Sky Temple is a huge win. Killing heroes is a bonus, but Sven survives. But that's mad damage at the top lane. I mean, it really is. This is huge for the Gremlins. This is really big for them. The temples are just now activating, and they are already losing ground on that fort. We are 2.5 minutes in, the wall is gone, and the fort is at 50% of its HP. That is crazy. Asmodan is, by the way, stacking at the bottom of the map. Chromie gets now destroyed at the top, so at least the red team has to pay a price. But good damage from Asmodan down at the bottom of the map. Sadath is rushing around here. But with the auto attacks that are coming from Asmodan, the Inspire buff gets activated on the ranged minions, and that is more damage on the fort as well. So Asmodan is playing this very smart, is getting more stacks, but a bit slower since he has no support here. Once we have level 7 though, he will be able to laser the wave, and then the stacks will come a lot faster. The red team is still ahead on structures, but this is making a difference. And once again, there's only the Vikings here. So it's just Vikings that get destroyed, and we have over and over again minion waves being pushed in, Inspire buff gets targeted, and that helps to get this fort now nearly down to 50% of its HP. Thanks to the temples taken by the Gremlins, they have eliminated the first fort on the blue team side. Shots are still being fired from both, and Hogger gets also murdered. 2 kills to 0 now for Team Rip. So they might be a bit behind in structures, mainly because of the fort dropped at the top, but they have done a solid amount of damage to the mid lane fort and the one at the bottom of the map. And Asmodan is already at 88 stacks, Cassia is at 23. Considering this is the first objective, this isn't bad, guys. This is a decent start into a game where they're clearly depending on scaling. So the Gremlins should be a little bit worried about that. Not that they're doing badly, but they're a little bit behind in experience right now, and I think that eventually they're also going to take the backseat in structures, especially if you look towards the middle of the map, where the fort is basically destroyed too. That bot lane is a completely different story. So, yeah, structurally, it's actually Team Rip that is starting to pull ahead, despite everything that happened at our top lane. That fort is gone. A little hit. Trying to go for a 3-pointer against Eric, which he didn't connect. But that's looking good. And it's not the only one that's looking good here. We have, for example, good damage again from Cassia too. 24 stacks. It's not insane, but that's decent. And Asmodan is 128 stacks. Yeah, he has his trade, which is super important. That's a big deal, obviously, to push side lanes. And on top of that, you have just the general control with the AoE damage that he brings to the table. And Asmodan has, as I said before, been played 6 times in this tournament and has won all 6 games. Not a hero that you see played all the time, but a hero that when he gets played in the right composition, on the right map, is having a big impact. Team Rip has been utilizing him several times with Boss, and they're doing it here once more. Level 10 abilities are now ready. Should give us a Demonic Invasion again for Asmodan. We haven't seen Blackpool in a long time here. Would love, by the way, to see with the context of the new patch Blackpool being picked too, but it's a bit unlikely that we're going to get that here. So, as expected, it is Demonic Invasion that we're getting from Asmodan. Getting the extra pressure in on structures is incredibly powerful. So this is something that helps a lot if you're just trying to annihilate a fort or a keep quickly. Tyrael with Judgment. Boss is also up on the map, so can be used too. And we have the temple at the bottom of the map. If claimed by the blue team, they will destroy the bottom fort. The Haka still at the top. It's obviously the big global tool that they have here. Brightwing, our fruit fly, dancing out in the middle. We have Crankle still vying for position here, but they haven't pushed into this yet. It's just Asmodan is pushing a bit in the middle and then rotates towards the top to help out the Haka. And this is a dangerous one. There's a double camp here already, which means massive Inspire push with those minions. The Haka goes down to the bottom of the map. And now we have Asmodan pushing this one solo. And he can do tons of damage here. Hasn't used his ult yet. Could save it to go for the keep wall. There's still a few shots at the temple at the bot lane. But this is weird, because for the Gremlins this is awkward. They need something. They're getting the Vikings all down to the bottom of the map because they want to dominate at least this fight. They are realizing they won't be able to do too much against Asmodan top. So the fort gets destroyed. The blue team, yeah, they're going to get assistance soon from Asmodan. But they are already winning this battle. Chromie goes down. It's hard to tell if she dies or not because she's basically the same size as the Vikings, so that makes it a little bit harder to decipher at times, but it was indeed her. Tyrael is also dead, and, well, with that they can now get Asmodan on the job and drop the quick Demonic Invasion, which is exactly what we're getting here. 186 stacks for him now, and, well, that's another fort gone. So that's all of the forts on the red side destroyed. Blue team still holds on to 1. Damage output from Asmodan is at, well, just 11,000 hero damage, not the focus for him, but 83,000 siege damage. So our boy is doing work here. We'll focus on the hero damage later on, but for now it's all about macro control for him. Yeah. Hogger's still poking around a bit. Cassie has the top damage for the blue team, whereas Tyrael is still top damage on the other side. Even ahead of Chromie, interestingly enough, who died twice so far. 5 kills to 0. Not a single kill for the Gremlins. I don't think they're going to go up for a cheeky boss here, but Asmodan at the bottom of the map has now completed his level 1 quest. So that's already a nice step into the right direction. We have him in addition with this also with the Vanguard. Let's slow in. Olaf. Yeah, and there's another minion wave. Look. Gets the hit on Olaf to kill him. Take him down. And there's still Siege Giants about to be claimed. But I have to say that Team Rip is dealing with the Vikings quite nicely so far. They are ahead in experience by a significant margin. They have also taken the structure lead. And with Asmodan, they have good stacks. They're getting good damage out that they can use to control those minion waves and lanes. So the Vikings, they are just having a bit of a problem against all of this. There's another quick hit. That's like, what was that, 24 stacks that he gets out of that. And one of the issues is obviously that with this trade, Asmodan can also counterplay the Vikings. Well, Brightwing goes down. Okay, so the flying butt plug got eliminated. Jojo took it out. And that is kill number 6. So, things are looking pretty good for them. A little bit of a blind shot by Asmodan that doesn't go anywhere, but they are getting more pressure in against Gavlo and force Hogger back. So the Vikings, they're taking control over the shrines. This is probably the biggest advantage that the red team now has, that they can still go for temple control with ease, since they can just split onto the map like this. And with them taking at least over some of the shots, that's a huge win. They eliminated the fort in the middle of the map and now applying pressure to the keeps. Blue team has taken over at the bottom of the map and is now attempting to do the same at the top. But Sven has to be super careful here, obviously. But it is nice pressure against the keep at the bottom of the map. Jojo, she still has a few shots left here. So apparently miscalculated the timing a bit as she moved off. By now we have, again, Asmodan. It's the laser show, baby. With them having a level 16 lead and going for Hell Rift, is lasering them into the ground, taking one after another. Shots fired at the top, damage the top side keep for the blue team. So this is still close. I mean, it really feels like it's the blue team, you know, that is dominating the things in general. They have 6 kills to 0. They're doing well with Asmodan, but let's not kid ourselves here. When we're looking just at structures alone, then the Gremlins aren't too far behind. So they're doing still a fantastic job, and you could argue they're ahead with this. The Vikings are controlling the side lanes quite well. The Haka has to deal with them as best as they can. And it's a bit, it would still worry me if I'm on the blue team side. You can still lose this game. Just because you had a lot of cool moves and have more of the kills doesn't mean that you're going to take this. And just look at the top lane, for example. Sadath is now pushing in here, and somebody needs to deal with this, or it's going to cost them the keep. And Asmodan to the rescue, as he starts moving in, gets good hits connected, but they need to burn this down quickly. The keep still taking damage, and every single bit matters, because there is going to be another temple at the top lane soon, and that will then likely destroy the keep if the red team is able to grab the objective again. So there's a lot going on here. I like the macro play that they are both showing. We have 59 stacks now for Cassia, so our girl has been doing work. Asmodan is sitting at 284 stacks as they're continuing, so we're still quite a bit away from completing the baseline. But he's of course working the damage in as we speak, and it's showing with every single orb that he throws out and takes the minion waves out. The minimap in particular shows it right now as we speak, because what we're getting here is lots of control, and the red team is more and more pinned down in their own base. So now Asmodan, maybe the chance to also drop another ult. For example, try and use it down at the bottom of the map, but they got some towers destroyed here. Trying to go over the bridge and get more of a lead there too. Temples are activating soon again. And that's 4 siege giants pushing. That has to be dealt with at some point. But they're back in the middle, trying to go for Olaf. That was kind of shut down. And the Vikings are already heading towards the temples, as they should. This is where they're going to have the big impact. Cassia, where's Cassia's damage sitting at? She's doing well. She's sitting at 47,000 damage. With Chromie on 31,000, so trailing way behind. Top side, the Haka is taking over, and here comes the first kill for the Gremlins. Yep, Jojo is down. Brightwing gets eliminated. That's the good news for the blue team, but they might lose a lot more heroes here. The stun against Dino, so now Cassia is in trouble. Asmodan is down, Rhaegar is down, and they might lose more. Chromie gets killed. They're trying to go now for Dino once again, thanks to the stun of Olaf. The two of them walk away, but there's 2 temples up, and this is the first time that the Gremlins got any kills in this game, and now they could take a mad advantage. They're getting the shots in, which means that on the top the keep will now be destroyed. That's the first keep that falls in the game. And then over towards the middle, they can of course apply even more pressure towards keep number 2 on the side of Team Red. The lead in experience has already been claimed by them. And this is exactly what Team Rip needed to avoid. This is what I was talking about earlier. The game was definitely not over. The moment that the Gremlins get some kills, they start pulling ahead here. The Vikings kept them in play the entire time. Their lane presence was enough. Sadath ran it well. And then once that they had the numbers advantage on the map too, they started to absolutely rock it. That is keep number 2 gone. Level 20 in their hands. Only 1 keep remaining for the blue team. So here we are. We get the Fury of the Storm for the Vikings. Upgrades and cooldown reduction for Tyrael with the Angel of Justice. And then Asmodan with level 20 comes in and grabs Sin's Grasp. They might throw Hail Mary at the boss at some point. This might actually what we're going to see here. 8 kills, 2, 3. Both on level 20. Hogga is a little bit lost. Hogga is very much lost. Hogga is in trouble. And, well, he might be dead. Is he going to get out here? And the answer is, I guess so. Blessed Shield. Asmodan with the damage. Even pops the ult. Boah, they're greedy here. They really want this. And then Judgment against Cassia. But it is Hogga and Brightwing that get dropped. Hogga and Brightwing are both down. And now they're moving in for Tyrael. So this was actually important. That might just have saved them. Boss is the only play that makes sense here. Try and defend with either Asmodan or Dehaka and then go for the boss. We're 15 minutes in, you gotta do something here. So Dehaka, he's gonna be defending the core. Has to keep those catapults at bay at least, that's the minimum. And over here, the fight breaks out. Asmodan! No! They lose the big boy. Asmodan is gone. Now Chromie gets attacked. Yeah, Cassia is just zipping around and they get the Chrome Star. Chromie gone, but that means that the catapults are now on the core, and we're talking 3. So Dino's coming back, needs to deal with the catapults, takes them out easily, no damage on the core. They are re-engaging on the boss, of course, and we have one of the Vikings eliminated. 1 down, still a bit of pressure by Sadath right here. Tyrael zipping around, but they need to commit to the boss at this point. Chromie is gone. She's the only one that's missing. Asmodan as well. They need to play this one out, and they know it. Tyrael could re-engage. Boss is nearly done, but they need to hurry. They really need to go for this right now. Dehaka with the lick, but they need to commit. The pings are coming, but they haven't made the play yet. In comes the mail. What the hell? How is this possible? Come on. Unbelievable. Get wrecked. Guys, what on earth? Look at this. Too easy. He came in and just claimed it with the holy ground like, yeah, that's mine. Oh my god. And now it is the bot lane attack against the keep. Holy ground Tyrael just jumps in and is like, yeah, thank you. And claims it. So now we had shots fired through the temple, but the attack is coming. Jojo is dead. They're killing a couple of Vikings. 12 kills to 5. Asmodan is dealing with the boss and has basically eliminated it. So the core is not going to fall to the boss by itself, but the blue team will have to defend against the opponent. Quest completed for Sesabos. So now they have a chance to utilize the baseline, the baseline reward too. But boy, they only have their core left. And the red team is now pushing. Jojo is gone for another 36 seconds. Rhaegar gets attacked. Shockwave follow-up. The core soon going to take damage, but again, they haven't won this yet. There's a double altar coming up next. And the Gremlins are a little bit worried that they might still lose this. Still unbelievable to me how easily that boss was taken. That shouldn't have happened. They had everybody there. They pinged the point. Nobody zoned out Tyrael. And that was that. But okay, they haven't given up on this yet. 18 minutes into the game. And now they... Oh, they get Chromie. Oh boy, that hurts. Chromie is gone. If they can take Hogga, he gets away. But that's actually big. Jojo's the one who's defending the bot lane. They might be able to do something here. Once again, the play, this time for Cassia. Holy ground. And Dino is fully wedged off from the rest of the team and goes down. Asmodan, I thought demonic invasion? Yes, no, maybe? No demonic invasion, but burning the keep down. Okay, didn't use the ult. Are they gonna try for the core here? No way. Nah, really? Okay. So apparently they're gonna try for the core. They get some hits in. Where's the demonic invasion where you need it? Tyrael with Judgment. Vikings are pushing for the blue team's core, by the way. Demonic invasion has just been used. They're not gonna be able to pull this off, are they? Oh my god! Asmodan is still alive too. 80%, 70%. Asmodan is down 40%. Don't tell me they actually do it. Oh, the red team wins it. The red team takes it. What the fuck just happened?